Welcome back, Southwest Florida. As I said before, he's a fabulous author of the book, Have You Been Broken Yet? Rick, you can bump that up on the screen. And we're so delighted to have him here in the studio, Terence Pollard, to talk about this fabulous book. The subtitle there is Short Stories for People Going Through Life's Trials and Tribulations. Terence Pollard is here. Rick, thank you. Welcome to the show, Terence.
Glad to be here.
And it's good to get you here. We need to say at the outset that you're also a man of the cloth, right?
Yes, I am.
Go ahead and plug your church.
Well, St. John's Missionary Baptist Church in Campville. I've been the pastor there for 6 years.
What is a big city or something near Campville so people know?
Gainesville, Florida, home of the Gators.
Home of the Gators. We won't hold that against you, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Now, I see you're a Mason as well. All the Masons out there, you want to say something to them, show them some little signal or anything like that?
What's up, bros?
Down from Gainesville area, I got a chance to read the book. Before we get to the book, let's go to what inspired you to actually put these very motivating stories together and put them in a book.
I was inspired to write this book, Mr. Pitts, by just going through life trials and tribulations. And then it was like, put together some stories that people could really use to help them to change their lives. Mm-hmm. And so doing that, in a 6 months period, I was waking up every morning and just came up with those stories.
That's outstanding. Now, was it difficult for you to pick and choose what stories you would use? You had I guess in your life, based on your life, you had a lot of different stories you could work from, right?
Yes, sir. I draw from my military experience, my professional experience, and also my ministry experience. So I was trying to reach out to a vast audience.
I think you're a motivation speaker as well?
Yes, sir.
And we got your website and your phone number on the screen. Of people, as we move through this interview, if they want to get in touch with you in any way as it relates to getting the book, getting you out to speak, autograph signings of your book, anything, they can just reach you at those numbers, right?
That's correct.
Okay, great. When you think about Have You Been Broken Yet, who is the audience that should read your book?
The audience who could read the book is primarily women, because there's a lot of stories that they can relate to. And I receive a lot of messages from ladies that book, it really ministered all the way to their soul.
Now, but you're not keeping your men from reading the book as well, because you don't want to miss out on those dollars, man.
Absolutely not. I would challenge the men to read the book, because in there they're gonna find themselves as well.
What are some things that a man can take from this book?
Changes, and being willing to change. And the thing about being a man myself for almost 50 years is the fact that men, we get set in our ways and don't want to change. It's our way or no way. But if you get this book, you're going to look at it, and it's going to challenge you to change your thinking and change your life. You
mentioned early on you were in the military. How did the military experiences help you in shaping what you put together here, which was what I thought was a very, very well-written book, a fabulous book. In fact, when I first started reading it, I started going through chapter by chapter. And usually when I'm reading books for my television show, I pick it up, I put it down, I get around to it. But I just couldn't put it down. I just went straight through the book.
Yes, sir. And the thing about that particular book is written from the position where whoever picks it up, it's going to grab your attention. Because I take you all the way back to childhood and take you into the military, going to Fort Knox and coming from Florida and I had to understand the culture that I was going into. But the military, as far as shaping that particular book, it helped me to stay focused to make sure that the task was taken care of.
And after a reader reads this book, what do you hope that they will take away from the book?
Regardless of what situation you may find yourself in, you can bounce back. I don't care if you're homeless, if you're on drugs, or whatever hand you have right now, you can bounce back.
The response that you've gotten when moving around on the speaking circuit and book signing, and people who read your book, what are some comments that you get in? And tell me even a success story that you could share with us to somebody who read your book and changed their life.
Okay, well, I'm glad that you asked that question. Just in 2013, from January up until this point, I've been invited to 35 book signings. And within a couple of hours, these books sell out. I mean, I go into places and they'll tell me authors don't do well here, but within an hour or two, every book that I take with me is sold completely out.
That's amazing.
Yes.
You thinking about turning this? I thought it could be a movie. You thought about that as a? Go ahead.
Yes, actually, I've had several individuals approach me and kind of like approach and talk to me about the idea of doing a movie because the title itself, everybody can relate to being broken.
Let's take a look, Rick, again at that cover. And I noticed on that cover, describe the cover and how you came up with that concept.
The concept of that cover is a broken vessel. We all are vessels. We all have been broken. And so what I wanted to do is when you look at it, you'll see little chips and everything. And when that vessel is broken, it would come close to being new
Thanks,
again,
Rick.
but it will never be the same.
Now, what is that one thing that makes your book different from any other book, you would say?
One thing that makes my book is the fact that it's real. It's real information, it's real situations, and this is what happened, and the end result, the outcome, was based on tangible proof.
Let's have you read an excerpt from your book, and we'll continue. As he's finding that excerpt right now, I want you to see that I'm going to, after he does the excerpt, I'm going to get an autograph of Terence's book as well.
Imagine a place in your mind where you have the power to heal yourself and control your blood pressure and anger problems. Now think if you had the power to make severe but lasting changes, would you do it?
What do you take from that?
I take that we have the power within us to make lasting changes. The thing is, if we decide that we want changes, we have to be willing to go through that process to make sure that it is.
See, I'm getting you talking and autographing at the same time. I'm getting that autograph, folks, so I can sell it on Facebook and eBay. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. But what I take away from that is, from the inside out, we have those abilities to make those lasting changes.
Do you find that in your life's work and studying and observing people, as you talked about with that blood pressure, still sometimes people know they need to change their lifestyle to get their blood pressure down to extend their lives. They still won't make those changes. They know that negative is coming, but they just won't discipline themselves to do that?
Absolutely. And an example of that is, for me, 2013, January, I was considered obese. And so I had to make life changes. I had to get on a diet plan and everything. But then from January until July, I've lost 25 pounds because I changed my mindset. I had to look at what I was doing for a different result. And then like I have friends who actually are diabetics and everything, they read the book and they're actually implementing little steps to change for them as well.
That's excellent. Now, we said that for more information on the book, people can go to that website we got on the screen or call that phone number. It's a really inexpensive book to purchase. How did you writing this book change your life? You know, what are some things that cathartically you might have had some changes yourself?
Writing the book changed my life because I'm an open book. I shared every aspect of my life.
You definitely did.
from having it all to going homeless to losing everything, but at the same time trusting the process to have everything restored.
What is the next step for you? I know we talked about a movie for the book, but what are some other things? Well,
currently I've did a follow-up because of the success of this particular book. And now the next book is called Now What? And so I've finished penning that one, and so now I'm just in the process of putting it together and getting it out there.
And what's your thought process? How do you go about writing a book? What do you do, an outline, or do you just take off writing and let it flow?
Well, my thought process is I come up with concept ideas and everything, and then I write down all the ideas, and then each day I try to work on one story because I do a lot of short stories and everything. And so I commit to doing like 45 minutes of writing a day.
Great job. Terence, I want to get one last question in, and then we're gonna let you go. Unfortunately, we can go on with this because it's such a great book. What do you have to say to those people out there, particularly young people who are interested in becoming a writer like yourself, and they haven't gotten started yet, and they think that's something that they can't do? What do you say to motivate them to get started?
Do it. And the thing is, my motivation, and can I tie this in real quick, is the fact that when I first submitted my manuscript, it was sent back, and I was discouraged and everything. But what I did, I just threw that, I scrapped that, and I sent it to unedited copy to the book company, and they signed me within 30 days.
Amazing.
So the thing is, young person, whoever it is, don't let anybody tell you what you can and what you cannot do. If you believe in yourself, it will come, it will happen, and you make it happen, you do the work, and you'll get the end result that you're seeking.
Fabulous story, man. Well, we wish you all the best and all the success with your great book, and we're just delighted that you graced our set here on Leap Pitch Live.
I appreciate you having me.
All right, stay right there, Terence. As the saying goes on this particular show, for those who say it can't be done, they're usually interrupted by those like Terence Pollard, the author of this fine book, Have You Been Broken Yet? Go out and get it. When we return, we'll take a look at some things that happened out at the African Network of Southwest Florida annual banquet at Florida Gulf Coast University. We'll be right back on Fox 4.